Welcome to the Tom Bernard Show with the family and
co-host Kathryn Brandt,
Alex Brandt Bernard Rasmussen,
Andy Brandt Bernard,
and Kristen Burt.
The segment is sponsored by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Kristen Burt Entertainment News is brought to you by North American Banking Company. Also, go to nabbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. So I got to run something by you guys to kick the show off today.
We're ready.
Because, I don't know. People are getting weirder by the minute.
I also have some kickoff after your kickoff.
Well, you do your kickoff.
The double kickoff.
Oh dear.
You do your kickoff.
I should probably actually wait until all the live audiences filtered in, because this is a thing that everyone needs to hear.
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
Oh, here, I'm scared.
No,
I don't even know what it is.
It's about an announcement for things that are broken about the show.
Okay. Yeah. I was like,
no, it's not.
So,
yeah.
We've fired Kathryn and Kristen both. That's the announcement.
Again.
Oh.
So again, no, here's the deal. I just am wondering, are people getting crazier and crazier by the day? Because I received a message on social media that Patrick Royce had been blocked from this social media site. Patrick Royce, you remember him, Kristen, from when you were in town?
I don't.
Okay, he's a writer for the Pioneer Press and I think and the Star Tribune as well. He worked at both, I know, but apparently he made a comment.
He got blocked.
Did he get blocked?
That's what you said.
Blocked.
But I mean,
did his account get suspended?
Yeah, the account gets suspended. So I put on social media that Patrick Royce's never liked me, and that's fine. Played golf with him a couple of times, had dinner with him a couple of times. I'm not his kind of guy, whatever. That's no big deal.
Oh, is this about how he said something like 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was it? It was something dumb.
I don't know. But they took it away like it was racist somehow. And I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was at all. Mm-mm. So I defended Patrick Royce. I said, look, he doesn't even like me. We're not friends or anything, but I'll defend him because we need free speech to return. Everybody's burying free speech now, which is really pissing me off.
No, it's actually really scary. To be honest,
it's very, very scary. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I want to bring this up, because I defended Patrick. Again, if it's got nothing to do with if he and I get along or not. We need to protect people's right to speech, to say what they want to say, not be buried by everything. I use that example. They buried my voiceover career by calling me a name because I was offended that a woman drowned a baby in a toilet. You remember that story?
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Drowned a baby in a toilet, and that really hit me right in the heart, that this little baby choking to death in a toilet. So I made a comment. Turned out it was not a white woman who did it, so I was automatically a racist.
Yeah.
It's like, what? That's not even the point of the story, you dumb bastards. But they are using race. They're using all these other things to determine everything. And the thing I couldn't find.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. He called a rap song "Monkey Rap."
Monkey rap, yeah.
But it was by the Beastie Boys, who are white.
Who are white, yes.
And the song was about a monkey.
And it was about a monkey.
Was it Brass Monkey? Their most famous song?
Yes,
yep.
Yes. And they called him, people were calling him a racist and this and that. I said, no, it's not. Like I said, Patrick and I don't even get along. He doesn't even like me, and I'll still defend him over this. The amazing thing is, I would say 99% of the comments on social media on X supported me, all the rest of it. But there were a handful of people, well, you're one of the biggest assholes ever born, so how would you know? It's like, how did this get to me being an asshole? I'm trying to defend somebody's free speech, and I'm an asshole for doing that? What has happened to people? I want to know.
Social media has happened to people.
Yes.
Technology's happened to people. I just watched on social media this morning, but there was an old 1989 CNN report talking about how loneliness had started to creep into people's jobs, and they were being isolated at work because they were working solely on a computer instead of interacting with their colleagues back when everything was paper and you had to hand that off to Joe and then, and then hand it off to Sue. And you fast forward from 1989 to 2025 and I'm like, ooh, it's even worse than that now, and
God.
I think the isolation of technology and social media really makes people bananas.
But I just think it's hilarious that I'm trying to defend somebody I don't even get along with just to prove the point that everyone should have free speech. But I'm the bad guy. It's like, what? I'm trying to defend the guy I don't even get along with them because free speech is very, very important, but I'm the prick. How?
I don't know. That's why you can't take social media too seriously.
No,
either.
you
And
can't.
like,
You're
you know,
absolutely right.
and when people
It's really-
come at you, I just
Yeah.
actually don't even respond because
No,
they
I
are
would agree.
looking for a reaction from you and that fuels them. And I'm like, I'm giving you no ammo.
I would agree with you. It's pretty unbelievable. It's the whole thing. I don't know. And I'll get off the subject, but it just kind of surprised me that, look, if I could see if it was someone, one of my best friends, and I was defending him, they'd go, yeah, well, you're only defending him because he's your best friend. But in this case, it was the exact opposite. But I was still wrong by defending him because it was all about me somehow. It's like, no, it wasn't about me at all.
Well, you have to understand that probably 70% of the people that go on social media to make comments
Mhm.
are making comments just to be inflammatory.
Well, that's true.
And people get paid to go around and be inflammatory. There's actually marketing firms that do this to try to destroy people. I mean, it's a sad statement, but it's true.
Unbelievable. Catherine, you should
So
probably
don't-
straighten your camera out. Because
Don't
you're-
take it seriously as your only hope.
But what I'm saying is, and what Kristen Burt was just talking about is, I'm defending somebody I don't even get along with, and somehow that's a bad thing. I thought it was a good thing. I don't like the guy, but I'd still defend him. I don't think he did anything wrong.
But that's the thing. Like, even if you're thinking like, oh, I'm doing something good to try and help
Mhm.
his cause, so many people won't see it that way. And it just
No.
becomes a backlash at you. And you're like, wait, how did I get dragged into all of this?
I think it's hilarious. I really do. But we move on with life. I just, some people, no matter what you do, you're wrong. Now, to ease things into your segment, I was watching television. Was that last night? I think it was, with you.
Yes.
And I can't remember what show it was on Watch Television. They show three guys at a Chicago White Sox game like 30 years ago, right? They show the picture, and there's a guy on the left, a kid in the middle, and another guy on the right. Turns out it's the uncles, two uncles of the little kid. And the guy on the left was Chicago White Sox fan 30 years ago, the Pope.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right. They showed the Pope at a baseball game.
That was phenomenal. Just a guy sitting there watching the Chicago White Sox. Turns out to be the Pope 30 years later.
I'm going to be like, girl, in 30 years, you're going to be the Pope.
Isn't that amazing though? The guy gets elected Pope, and then all of a sudden there he is at a game years and years ago.
Yeah.
How
It was
they
a
find
long
that
time
stuff
ago.
is amazing.
I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah.
No question about it. So I just, that brightened my day quite a bit. Actually, Mother's Day was wonderful too, because Catherine and I had a really nice time, Mother's Day and all the rest of it.
Went to a new restaurant that was
Oh,
delightful.
God, it was phenomenal.
It's called Harry's. There's a Harry's in
New
Manhattan in the financial district.
Wait,
And they
didn't
have
we
one down here.
discuss Harry's last
Yes,
week?
and I need
Okay.
to tell you what happened.
Okay, 'cause I was
We
like,
ran
wait,
into
this
a-
is-
We ran into our neighbor who said it was closed, and we will not listen to him anymore when he
No.
talks about things, because there was an ambulance in front of our building, and he said a guy died on floor 12. And we're like, oh my God, really? Somebody died? And we asked the front desk person, who we know very well and wouldn't lie to us. They're like, he didn't die. So
my
apparently our contact is a bad one. So
Yeah.
he won't.
source
Yeah.
from a bad source.
He is a bad source. Exactly. So we're not listening to him anymore. So what actually happened was Harry's is right next to a restaurant called Felicity's, I think, or Feline's, or I don't
It's
know.
like Felicity or
I think it's
something like
Felicity's.
that.
Anyway, they had a kitchen fire
Yeah.
and they closed down because of the kitchen fire.
Right.
Harry's is fine.
Oh my
Harry's is
God, it was
open for business. Harry's is delightful. Sorry about the misinformation.
I
I'm
raved
gonna
so
look it up
much.
here.
I
Sometimes
raved so
they're
much at
pretty-
the restaurant that the chef came out,
Yeah.
shake my hand and say thank you. I mean, it was
It was
some
one
of the
of the-
best food ever.
Yeah. It was one
Talking
of the better
about
meals.
Fern,
No, it wasn't Furnace on the other
Fern's
side.
the steakhouse on
the other side.
This is
Which side
Harry's.
Publix,
Oh,
Well, Publix-
north of Harry's.
north of
and
Harry's.
north of Publix, but on the same side of the
Oh,
street
this
as
is. Oh, Felice.
Felice. There you go.
Felice. That
It's
is closed
Felice, yep.
only because of a kitchen fire, not
Right.
because it didn't make it through the season or
Right.
anything like that.
Oh, so the chef came out to thank you and to remind everyone that they're open.
Yeah.
Not
He
closed.
said,
His name is Joe.
his name is Joe. He came out and said, I don't care. Whenever you want to come and eat here, just call.
Don't tell people.
Yeah, okay, I won't tell people. Never mind. I won't
never
say
get
who
in.
that. But the chef was, he's a guy from New York.
Yeah.
He actually is the head chef at the Harry's in New York.
Yeah, I think he said he's been with Harry's for 27 years.
Yeah, something like
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, this is those like fancy ass apartments over by Publix.
that. Yes.
Okay, I see.
They're fancy ass. That's
Yeah,
exactly
very
what it is.
fancy ass.
But it was so nice to be around people. Everybody who worked there came over.
Oh,
The servers, everybody came over. Patted me on the back, said thanks so much for coming in. All of a sudden, Kathryn and I were the hottest couple in the history of the restaurant.
honestly, it was like a throwback to like 1970s,
Yes.
80s fine dining where everyone was super gracious. No one
Yep.
had an attitude. No one was high. No one smelled funny. It was just great.
It was wonderful.
Good old days.
The good old days.
It was wonderful.
It was
Just a great
delightful.
time.
All right, before we go to our break,
Okay.
I will address the app again.
Okay, good idea.
There's
the
some
app.
still getting emails and texts and so forth about the app not working. That's because you have to update it.
Yep.
It's not a new app. It's the same app. It's just an updated version. If you don't know how to manually update, honestly, the easiest way would be to just delete it and reinstall it. There you go. You'll have the new version.
Okay.
A lot of people turn off automatic updates because they don't want, their phone just updating at random. But then you end up with problems like this, where people have the old version. They can't listen to our old episodes on the app, at least, so they don't know that it's time to update and so forth. So yes, update the app. For Android users, you're going to want version 1.2.0. Same thing for iPhone users, but I don't think you can actually see the version on iPhone. So just delete it and reinstall it if it doesn't work. If you do have the new version of the app, you are probably only seeing 3 episodes up on it right now. There's a technical reason for that. It's going to get repopulated. As we put out new episodes, more is going to be up on there. We're not going to be putting anything before Wednesday up on there. That'll be the 7th. But I never really intended the app to go back months anyway. There'll be up to 50 episodes on there. So in 43 more episodes, there'll be 50 on there. And then the next episode after that, the oldest one will get deleted and so forth. So just a way to, find the most recent ones easily.
So if people want old episodes, they have to go to the YouTube channel.
YouTube would be a good bet. We have a player on our website that's pretty good about that too, like an embedded player. If you go to tombernardpodcast.com, it's under recent episodes. You can scroll back as far as I know forever. There is no search function, but I am going to eventually work on that, make a site or a page on our site that has the ability to search old episodes and stuff.
The YouTube channel has a search function, though.
But yes, if you want, the only problem with YouTube is it only goes back so far. Like, I don't know, maybe a year, something like that, which is a decent amount of time. But if you want like old episodes, you're going to have to wait for me to get this search function going, or you're going to have to scroll for 17 years on our website player. But now that everything is like, I'm done working on the app, I'm done working on everything. That's something I'm going to be doing relatively soon, I believe.
I like it. Works for me. All right, we'll take that break, be right back. And Kristen Bird has a lot to talk about, I bet. She always does. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes right after this. From Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. What's up, Allie?
Oh, not much. Doing my usual thing of telling people they shouldn't be texting and driving. In Minnesota, you can't have your phone in your hands. You can use, hands-free, but you can't have your phone in your hand for whatever reason. And that's why they made the law the way they did, so that police officers could see a phone in your hand and you got no excuse for why you got it there.
Do people know that that's the law?
I hope so. I mean, they used to follow it, and then kind of COVID kind of made people forget. And now it's like a freewheeling world out there with cell phones.
Let's say you get pulled over because you do have a phone in your hand and you're not watching where you're going. You got to be in pretty big trouble then, I would guess.
Well, the first one's not as bad. It's the multiple ones, the problem. And once people start stacking them up, then they have a big problem. And then what we're doing in car accidents is we've started bringing motions for punitive damages, because I'm trying to use the civil law any way we can to stop this, because it needs to stop.
whenever I'd had any problems in my life, who was that I called again? It was like an MB, something like that.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
Let's talk about my bank, North American Banking Company. Look, it's easy to feel like just another account number at the big national banks, but that's not how it works with my friends at North American Banking Company. Whether you're visiting their locations in Roseville, 50th in France, Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, or Maple Grove, you'll always find real people who know you by name and actually care about your finances, not some AI chatbot. They also offer all the modern conveniences you expect, like online and mobile banking, but with a personal touch that only a community bank can offer. So why settle for less when you bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Visit nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Andy's here, Alex is here, Kathryn. Kristen Burt's here. It's got big news, I bet.
I do, actually.
See?
And, there was news that dropped on Friday, and I actually made a note, and I was like, I have to tell Tom this on Monday so I wouldn't forget. You ready?
I'm ready.
Doc Martin is getting a U.S. adaptation.
No.
Who's
Yes.
Who's it going to be? Where's it going to be filmed? What?
It's going to be on Fox, and it is going to star Josh Charles, who is a fantastic actor.
I can't think of Josh Charles.
He's
Yeah.
currently in Handmaid's Tale, and he's so good in the role.
Okay.
But he was on Sports Night. Did you ever watch Sports Night? I'm trying to go.
I'll
Trying
tell
to
you
think,
what.
like, what else?
What's his
We
name?
just watched an episode last night of Josh, of the original.
You have talked about
Josh.
Doc Martin so much. That's what I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to have a U.S. version.
Wow.
Dead Poets Society, Josh Charles. I mean, he's been in Hollywood
Okay.
since he was a teen.
Probably recognize him when I see him.
Josh
Yeah.
Charles, Good Wife.
Wait, Good Wife. He was in Good Wife for a long
I
time.
watched a
For a
few of those
long time.
episodes.
A lot of
Unbreakable, Kimmy Schmidt. Yeah.
All right. Well, we also watched a couple of movies that were also filmed in Port
England.
Isaac.
Yep.
And what's it called again? Fisherman's Friends.
Fisherman's Friends.
It's
Yep.
a very cute movie about this group that in the movie, they're actually fishermen who sing shanties, fishing songs. And anyway, in real life, they are not fishermen, but they are a group and they tour all over the place.
Okay, I was
And-
going to say, because I Googled it and I found a musical group. So it's
Yep.
them.
Yes.
That's them. Yeah.
Yes, and so there's two movies now. There's Fisherman's Friends, the original one, and then another. They just
Alex
did
broke
another
the
one 2
computer.
years ago. What? What happened?
Where did Alex go?
She broke it.
I'm hearing things.
anything.
Oh. Her computer pooped out. Anyway, so we watched those, and those are also filmed in Cornwall.
A group of Cornish fishermen from Port Isaac.
Yeah, but
Yep.
it's like I said, they weren't really fishermen, but there was
They
a
were at
group, and the
first.
group has been around a long time, and apparently there's been a few tragedies. Two of them got killed by a metal door, or at least one. Yeah, a huge garage metal door came down and smashed two of them, and one of them died instantly, and I don't know if the other one survived or not, but
Oh, geez.
that was a very bad
A heavy
thing to
steel
happen.
door fell while the G Live venue in Guildford was being prepared for a show, killing their tour manager.
Oh,
And one of their singers died in the hospital 2 days later.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
There was
really
a steel
awful.
door that was being moved, and it fell on them, and yeah.
Eek.
And I guess these guys are all friends and they're all from the same area. And anyway, it's just an uplifting. I'm sure the critics hated every minute of it because it's, just a fun movie that was just delightful to watch. It made you feel good. It made you cry a little bit here and there. It was very emotional. It's very, very sweet movies. Just in case anybody wants to watch something like that.
Mhm.
And
Where
also
did you watch it?
We saw it on
You never know where you see anything.
Roku, maybe.
Well,
Might
they
have been
watch a lot.
Roku.
That's-
Yeah, I think it was on someplace else too, because the new one is only a couple of years old.
Fisherman Friends, look it up, Andy.
Fisherman's
Let's see
Friends.
where to watch.
Just so we know
Tubi,
where to direct people.
Yes.
all of the fast things, every one of them. Tubi, Roku, Pluto, etc.
Oh, they're on all of them?
All the fast channels, yeah.
Yep.
It was wonderful. Really, really good. Just, people in a small fishing town. And it's a true story, like
I
you said.
know, and at the end they sang the Cornish national anthem. It's
Oh, God.
You guys find the most hidden gems
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, I went to the Secret Lives of the Mormon Housewives premiere on Friday, and
I want to hear about that.
oh, you do?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Oh, the swag that you got.
Oh, I didn't get any swag this year. We got a party instead. So
That's
I
dumb.
know. So the premiere was on. Okay, let me just set up the premise. I know we talked about this last year, Tom, but I know you didn't watch the show. So to refresh everyone's memory, this is a reality show. It is on Hulu. It was so successful that they transferred it from Hulu to ABC earlier this year for season 1. But it is about Mormon housewives in Utah. It started off of a TikTok soft swinging scandal. So some of these Mormon housewives and their husbands were swapping partners. That's how it actually started, from a
Ooh.
TikTok scandal into an actual TV show.
Hmm.
So this is season 2. This was an FYC event, which is for your consideration for Emmys, because they would be in the unscripted category, but they did a beautiful party. So on the Paramount lot with a ton of food and entertainment. And Alex, did you watch the season?
I have not seen an
Okay.
episode of it.
Okay, I was going to say, if you'd seen it, there's a Chippendales moment in season 1. We had some Chippendales dancers at the event just to tie it all together. But it actually was really, really fun because that Paramount Pictures lot is absolutely magical. So that'll be out May 15th for anyone who is interested in watching Mormon drama.
Which a lot of people love.
Yes, and I'm going to say that likely, this is just my guess, but likely one of the 2 women who really kind of have lead storylines will wind up on Dancing with the Stars this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So
Television, I'm telling you, there's so many places to dig. If you dig deep enough, you can find some stuff that is fun. These 2 movies were great. Really good.
Well, we watched Tarzan, so.
Which one?
There's 18,000 Tarzans.
Part 2 from 20-something years ago.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Johnny Weissmuller?
No.
I live next to Tarzana, which is
Tarzana.
Tarzan. It's from
Nice
Tarzan.
town. It's a good
Yep.
town.
Okay.
No question about that. Before we continue, I was just thinking about Kristen Burt living in Hollywood and all the rest of it. I just started watching a show called Autopsy. And the first one is about Natalie Wood.
Oh, that's grim.
You know that was 44 years ago already?
That story
1981, yeah.
will never 100% be solved in people's
No
minds.
way. Because they're saying that Christopher Walken and she were having an affair on the boat, and Robert Wagner was on the boat with them, and they find it got really hideous.
Until they're both gone.
Yes.
Someone knows the absolute truth of what happened
they
on that
do.
boat.
No, you're absolutely right.
RJ's still here. I think he's 95 or something. He is in his 90s.
What's his
Right.
name? Who?
Robert Wagner,
He's
Well,
aka
95.
RJ. They call him RJ.
I
He
think
is
he is
95, yes.
Yeah, I was like,
95.
he's up there in age for sure. So I just think it's just a very traumatic story, to be honest.
It is very traumatic. This show was done very, very well too. I think it's an older show. I don't know when it started or ran or whatever, but pretty interesting that They think that Christopher Walken and Natalie Wood had an affair, and Robert Wagner caught him doing it, and it was like on a boat.
And then they had a fight. Yeah, that was like
They had a fight.
had a fight on the boat, and
Man,
I don't know. It's crazy.
It's fishy.
it's
literally fishy.
Fishy.
It is fishy. Well, and I mean, if I remember correctly, too, it was late at night. There had been a lot of drinking. They're out in the open water. Like, the whole thing is pretty terrifying, to be honest.
It's really sad because they implicate in the beginning of the story that Natalie Wood's mother forced her into being an actor in Hollywood.
Really?
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So
She grew up in San Francisco with her family, but her mother from day one said, "You're going to be a movie star," and pushed her into it.
And there's a very traumatic story out there with her being sexually assaulted. And I believe it's Kirk Douglas when she was 16.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gross.
Mhm. And it's really awful. But you can find it because several books have written about it. So I don't think it was a big secret in Hollywood, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was not a big secret in Hollywood, but
Amazing how he still had a career after that.
Christopher Walken being involved in something like that. He's a goofball from Saturday Night Live originally, wasn't he? Or someplace like that.
He's a tap dancer.
Tap
Oh,
dancer.
Really
Right.
good tap dancer.
And all those tap
What a
dancers.
You know, I
It
think
is.
is it not true though? The TV has gotten so big with so many channels. I mean, you can watch anything you want, anytime you want. It's amazing.
You can. The library is very huge. Right now, we're in the upfronts, which is where all the networks display their shows for advertising dollars for the fall. We're definitely seeing smaller amount of content coming our way. NBC is a really good example of that. They are doing 3 out of 7 days live sports now for the fall because they have a huge deal with the NBA. They also have, of course, the Olympics coming up, but they canceled a whole bunch of shows over like the last few days. Like Suits LA got canceled, Found got canceled, The Irrational got canceled because they needed to make room for all of this NBA and WNBA deal that they have coming. And live sports right now is the only thing that is 100% making money for networks.
Okay. There you go. It's so enjoyable though. We never even knew the Fisherman's Friend existed. Never even heard of it.
We didn't either.
Well, what happens with Roku is it pays attention to what you watch and then it makes suggestions.
Yep.
And I love Roku so much. We have a Google TV now up in Minneapolis, and I just do not like it at all. Roku is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I would always do Roku. It really gives us great suggestions. And it's interesting because that a remake of Doc Martin, I know that PBS did a remake of that veterinarian show that was a huge show in the UK. I can't remember what it was called, but they did a redo and they only made, I think, 1 season. I don't know. I just don't know how you can get the quirkiness of Doc Martin and the scenery and all of the characters are just so perfect in Doc Martin. It'll be a big task, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The Office succeeded. You've got the UK version.
Yep.
And
Yeah, that's true. It did.
I mean, if you have the right team writing it, it'll be great. Now, my question is too, it is on Fox. So sometimes that limits how you tell the story because you have the broadcast standards that sometimes, narrow that storyline down. We'll see, if it had wound up on HBO, would it have looked different? You just never know.
Well, and also Doc Martin was, nowadays you would say, oh, he's definitely on the spectrum, easily be on the spectrum, and he's rude. And I just don't know how they're going to do his personality in this day and age.
Well, I mean, isn't he basically just the British version of House to begin with?
Kind of.
We've already got Asshole Doctor, the show.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like we can't do it again.
I mean, the good news is you've got a great actor in that role. Josh Charles is going to be good. So that's at least a good start. We're off on a good note.
It's not so much about him being a doctor. I mean, there are parts of it about a doctor. It's the relationship between all the quirky they call it Port Wynn, town folk.
So it's not like medical, really. But,
yeah, I mean, they do have
little.
some, but it's not the focus.
It's not ER.
Because House was like
it was all
at
about
the
the medicine.
hospital.
Yeah.
At least to
Right.
begin with. And then it became less about the medicine, and I was like,
Yeah.
Well, Kristen's going to stab us in the back and leave. Typical.
Stab us in the
Alright.
back.
So, how dare you?
Right to your
indeed.
face, actually. I gotta go.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks very much.
All
Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. We'll take a break. Be right back in a couple of seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser. Let us talk about my bank. That'd be North American Banking Company. Look, it's easy to feel like just another account number at the big national banks, but that's not how it works with my friends at North American Banking Company. Whether you're visiting their locations in Roseville, 50th in France, Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, or Maple Grove, you'll always find people who know you by name and actually care about your finances, not some AI chatbot. They also offer all the modern conveniences you expect, like online and mobile banking, but with a personal touch that only a community bank can offer. So why settle for less when you can bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Visit nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Ladies and gentlemen, this part of the show is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. Oh, Sandy not going to be on today?
Usually he comes on at 11:05, and he's very punctual.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right about
I
that.
can tell you about, apparently Ethan has entered his emo phase, or his goth phase,
Oh, dear.
as of last night.
How's that?
So we read this book called Little Egg, which is about emotions,
Mm-hmm.
teaching kids about emotions and how it's okay to have emotions and that sort of thing.
Yes.
So there's the first page is, this is Little Egg. Little Egg loves to jump when happy.
Mhm.
So I read it. I say, this is Little Egg. And Ethan says, no, it's Little Nothing. And I
Oh.
said, okay, this is Little Nothing. And usually at the end of each page, we let him say the emotion.
Yeah.
So I say, Little Nothing loves to jump when, and Ethan goes, he's dead.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Little Nothing loves to jump when he's dead.
Okay, well,
Wow.
Very Tim Burton of him.
Right.
that is very Tim Burton-y. You're absolutely right about that.
It's all about the swearing.
Oh, he's been doing a lot of that lately.
No, the one where Melissa was playing a game.
Yeah. He was very proud of not swearing, but of course.
What?
So Melissa's playing this Yoshi game. Yoshi's Crafted World, which Ethan loves.
Okay.
Because it's all about like finding stuff. Like, you got to find these little crafts and things.
Mm-hmm.
But Melissa's playing it and she falls off a cliff and she goes, bitch. And Ethan goes,
dear.
son of a bitch. He didn't say that.
That's nice.
He said, which? And he's like, oh, okay. And then we beat the level. Melissa beats the level. And Melissa says, we did it. And Ethan goes, yes. And we didn't say son of a bitch.
That's- there you go.
We didn't.
Didn't, but you did.
Yep.
I got to tell you guys something
It
here
cracks me up.
that I mentioned to your mother yesterday, being Mother's Day. I said, when you look at the one woman who had two great children, who now each have two great children, this woman, there are 6 people that are alive because of her wonderful existence.
Oh.
How cool is that, though?
Oh, I know, but I pale in comparison of women have had 5, 7, 10 kids.
I
Yeah.
suppose that's
My
right.
God,
Yeah.
Think
Like-
of somebody that's had 6 kids,
yeah.
6 billion kids.
But I've never thought of that before. From this one woman came all 6 of you.
How many kids do you guys
That's how
have,
that works.
Mary?
Oh, we have 5.
5. Yeah,
And-
there you go.
Yep.
How did I beat Bob? I was like,
I know.
you can see I'm outside, and
he's
I was
here
like,
now.
I am not going to be
Well,
late
there's
today.
his keyboard.
Well, there's his
anyway.
keyboard. There's no Bob, but there's a
wrong way.
keyboard.
Just
There
There's
you go.
There
more.
he is.
There we go.
Bob, I've been here for hours.
Yeah.
It's true.
Waiting and waiting.
I had to finish my show because I had a couple of people that were, I had a delay on one of my
Were
interviews.
they-
See, you go live, I don't. So some people get a little late coming
okay.
to me. Anyway.
I dropped
understand.
everything to be on time.
See,
See, Bob's Answer for Sports brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. So
happy belated Mother's Day, Mary.
Thank you. Same. Happy Mother's Day to you. How was
they-
your weekend?
Really nice. Did you get a shrine built to you? Because you should.
Better. It was better. We were gone at a high school rodeo, and my farm was like, one of my sons was here with his friends, and they did an incredible amount of just like cleaning up and mowing, and did some landscaping and planted
Oh.
flowers. And
Wow.
and then we had some of our barn families were here, and they were building like benches in the big tack room. Like I was just off watching Sienna do her rodeo thing, and back here, yeah, it was a great Mother's Day. And then when we got back in town, we got all the kids together and went out to eat for dinner last night. So it was nice.
Very nice.
What'd you guys
That is
do?
Free labor. That's nice.
I know.
Oh, that's
That
nice.
is, yes.
Catherine and I went out to dinner at this magnificent restaurant in West Palm Beach and just had a wonderful time, and had such a good time that the head chef, the maitre d', every server, every busboy came over and patted us on the back and shook our hands, said, "You got to come back soon. It's just wonderful."
You were ranting and raving
I was
in a good
Wow.
way
In a
about
good
how
way.
great it was.
in a good way.
Yeah.
But everybody came out of the kitchen, out of the back, out of the front to say thank you so much. We really appreciate it, which is nice to see.
Well, I think when you're at a high-end restaurant, it's, unusual for someone to be so enthusiastic.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Well, if
Yeah.
you're not in West Palm Beach, but you're looking for a great place to eat, why not check out Tom's Twitter feed after the show to see if you can win a $100 gift card to Jack's Cafe.
I love
Nice.
that,
Look at
Andy.
you with your segues and
So
such.
after the show, we'll have Tom tweet out something. Reply to the tweet. If you're in there, you're in the drawing. On Thursday night, we'll make the drawing, and then on Friday, we'll announce the winner.
Did they get contacted by the winner last week?
Yes, we got
Good.
it taken care of.
I'm glad.
Should we
that
announce the
happened.
winner from last week?
We did. We on Friday.
Well, you can say it
Oh.
again if you want.
Can I say it? Nick something. I never found out how to
Nick something.
never found out how to pronounce the last name.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You did.
Wiesman, Wisman.
Wiseman.
Nick, that's good enough.
Yeah, Nick,
But-
if you're listening or your brother's listening, because apparently his brother's the one who found out.
oh, is that right?
Yes.
That he won?
Yeah, if one of you two is listening, email us again
Wonderful.
and tell us how to pronounce your name for the future.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Joe
No, the
wants
whole
to ask
thing.
Bob about his electric cycle board.
Uh-oh.
What?
Uh-oh.
Jesus, Mary, why don't you fall off the hay bale?
I have the best videos where he's wearing his, are they Becks? What are those sunglasses?
I don't know. Bex? No, they're not. I don't remember what they are. They're not Bex.
Like the wraparound shades, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
cruising around the rodeo grounds on his big scooter.
It is life changing, Tom. You got to get one of these things. 15 miles an hour. You could use it on. It's meant for the golf course. It's called Cycle Board Golf. It's huge, but it's a cycle. You stand on it, and it's all based on you shift your weight to turn.
Oh, like a
it.
scooter.
It is a scooter.
Oh,
It is a scooter, although the front wheels don't turn, so you kind of have to surf it. Like you
Oh,
use your
yeah.
balance. You go back and
Yep.
forth to get it to turn and stuff.
This thing, I put in miles last year at this thing up in Pine River. Now I just hop on my scooter and off I go. It's terrific. Weaving around horses and trailers, and it was terrific.
Do you get
And-
dogs barking at you? Children
Not at
screaming?
all.
Oh,
There's
God,
yeah.
Daisy hates that sort of thing so much.
there's so
I don't
many
know.
like rodeo kids and stuff that have segways or different variations of stuff like this. And those
Nobody
are
has a
cruising
scooter
around.
my
Yeah,
size.
nobody has Bob's scooter. He got
This-
a lot of attention.
This is the semi truck of scooters.
It is.
Oh.
It is.
Because you could put,
Okay.
like I said, it's meant to have a golf bag on the front of it.
Oh,
They use it, and it
yeah,
was
I'm
made
looking
for
at it now.
golf.
It's
Sienna would
very.
strap her muck bucket on the front and clean up after her horses, and
Yes,
then
she
she'd
did.
cruise down and dump it and cruise back. She'd cruise
Oh.
down to get water, cruise back. So
Very
they were
heavy
fighting.
duty.
I only used it a couple of times. Bob and Sienna were kind of like fighting over it a little bit.
Well, because I got it for me, not for her. I said, you can ride a horse. I need something. So life-changing, I tell you. And I'll just,
Yes.
I got it at a place called Freedom Mobility in Buffalo. They got, for listeners who are like a little older and they need a mobility scooter, they're a fraction of the cost. You got a bunch of them, I think, from Mystic Lake. So you can get them for under $1,000, like $750. And I can't wait till I need one of those because those things look fun.
And what's the range?
My thing goes 13 hours. Those mobility
wow.
scooters go forever. They have to, because you can't have an old person stalling in the middle of of Target or something. So you need to have that going. But they got e-bikes, all that stuff. Anyway, it was fun.
Now we're cooking.
That does sound
Okay.
fun.
Bob's a sports guy, but he hasn't mentioned my Twins yet. What the hell, Bob?
Yeah.
Well, they've only, you know what? Let's talk when they've won 10 in a row. They've only won 8
give
in
me
a row.
a break.
I thought they won 9 in a row.
No, it's 8, isn't it?
I thought it was 3, 3, and 3.
And they just swept the Giants. I mean,
They
give me
did sweep the Giants. The Giants were battling
A
for
good
first
team.
place. It's
Yes.
8 in a row, Tom. Yeah,
What's
but
only 8 in a row? Okay.
they didn't pick up a ton of ground. I mean, because the Tigers have been they've won 7 of the last 10 and
Mhm.
8 out of the last 10 for the Twins. They're 5 behind, but the key is they're over 500. Royce Lewis is back, and
Yep.
they've got young guys that are producing for them in key
Mhm.
situations, and that's what's got to be exciting for you Twins fans.
No,
Right.
there's no question about it. Kathryn and I got it. This is a true story. I'm not making any part of this up. I'm not kidding. So Kathryn and I get together and watch the Twins every night because you just it's very relaxing. You just watch the team and all the rest of it. Yesterday, she's taking a nap. I start watching the Twins game. The Twins are losing. Finally, I think in the 6th inning it was, I'm not sure. I don't remember. I think it was the 6th inning. Kathryn wakes up, comes in, and the Twins take the lead as soon as Kathryn is there next
It's
to
all
me.
because of her.
All
is.
because of
Lucky
her.
charm.
Now, I mean, and the
And
story,
also, Jude has to be snoring.
Jude has to be, well, that's the last part of it. The game gets tied up, goes to extra innings. And I said, Kathryn, Jude's not snoring. What are we going to do? Snoring. What are we going to do?
Just wait a minute. He'll be snoring.
Yeah. And we waited a minute. He started snoring. Twins win. So Kathryn has to be there. I have to be there. And Jude has to be there snoring. And they win every game.
Snoring
That's what I was
24
gonna
hours
say.
a day.
That's
So
an easy thing
Well,
to
yeah,
Only if he's sleeping.
happen.
Oh, God, it's so wonderful to watch my team winning, though, because that team was supposed to be terrible.
It was terrible. That's the
It was
amazing thing about
terrible,
they
yes.
absolutely sucked. And they just, I mean,
You're right.
to win 8 in a row now, you know what? It's a fun time. And if you're a fan of the Timberwolves, they're going to wind up winning this series because there's no Steph Curry. So everything is lining up for them, certainly to get to the championship, the Western Conference championships like last year. So
I want Steph Curry to come back for at least one of the games because I don't want to hear they never would have made it if Steph Curry would have been playing.
okay, but you know what though? Here's the problem with that. He comes back a hamstring injury. He's not going to be Steph Curry. He'll be a fraction of what he normally is. So but they are going to hear that, and it's legitimate.
It's not legitimate. That's the problem.
Legitimate.
If he was playing and he was fine, we still would have definitely a chance of beating them.
It'd
It's
be
not
0
like
and 3.
we couldn't beat them.
It'd be
No,
0
we
for 3.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
No,
you
we
would. Oh, come on.
No, we wouldn't.
Yeah, you would. They almost. I mean, they were behind yesterday or the other day for a little bit before they wound up winning. That this is. I don't know. I still go back to, and this one is not proving to me that they figured out how to handle success. If they had beaten this team with Steph Curry healthy, then I would buy it. I'm not jumping on that bandwagon. Not at all. Not yet.
Me. I'm like, I wish he didn't have this hamstring injury and we could just
And you'd be 0 and 3.
shown.
You'd
No,
be
we
facing elimination.
No, we wouldn't. I don't
Tonight.
think
Yes, you would.
at all.
Well,
No.
maybe not. You never know. Right now, you're up 2-1. Be excited by that
Well,
instead of complaining about the Steph Curry thing. It doesn't matter. You gotta keep winning and keep moving on.
well,
And-
what was Royce's injury?
Are we back to baseball?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're talking about basketball.
I know, but I'm just talking because he was injured for a long time, and he's back, and now, I don't think he's doing that
actually
great.
with the
That
great
does
thing.
happen.
Well, I mean, he's played in the last half dozen games, right? So that's a good. I mean, that's a great thing to have him back. And then this team, it's a young team, and it's really it's doing well. And
Well, I'm just my point was is that injuries. Yes,
it
they
was a
seem to
hamstring.
linger.
Okay, it was a hamstring strain
okay.
in spring training. These hamstring strain is one of the other than like you say knee injury, but a lot of times you need to get surgery. A hamstring injury probably is the longest injury to return from.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
until it's right, you're not going to be able to do the things you normally do.
Uh,
I don't think we're going to see Steph Curry in this series, and if he does, he's not going to be what he normally is.
I can think of longer recoveries. Decapitation. That's got to be number
Yeah.
one.
The head grows back.
Total disintegration, like from an alien laser.
Mhm.
That's
that
got to
would-
be. I
Well,
mean, it's going to take forever.
Oh my gosh. Well, as far as like decently recoverable,
Well, yeah, like
you
common
can-
injuries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like you can come back with it because yes, you can, break your hip and then you're out
You're
for
gone, yeah.
No,
like,
but of the injuries you don't have surgery, this
Yeah.
is probably the longest.
It's
Yeah,
well, the
hamstring
hamstring's a
stuff
big
is-
muscle. Yeah.
I,
But yeah, but it's like, yeah, people can like break their femurs and stuff, but you're not going back on the field after that.
I
You
had
can
s-
recover all you want, but you're never playing again.
I had some dance friends that
What is a
ripped-
Roomba running? Is that,
What is that?
Mary, is
Sounds like
that
a
at our
truck,
place?
truck on a highway near Mary, I'm guessing.
not us.
Let's not talk about that. I don't know what you're talking about.
And hit
Okay.
the switch. You could get rid of it.
I live.
Oh,
You know, I
oh.
injured my hamstring once. That was actually the worst. I heard it and felt it at the same time. It
Yeah.
was terrible.
That sounds like one of those things that's just like, ugh.
Yes, I took off
Mhm.
running and it just like, I heard, I don't even understand how it could be that loud, but I heard like a pop
Mhm.
and then I felt it. And then I thought I could tough it out and keep on going, like
Ooh.
run through the injury.
No.
And I couldn't move that leg. Like I
Yeah.
was immobilized. Like somebody had to come and help me and it was humiliating.
Yeah, sometimes I
So-
start walking and I hear it sounds like a twig snapping in my ankle.
Great.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, that can't be
That's
good.
great.
But it hurts. So I'm
Drink
like,
more water.
whatever, I guess.
My ankles crack and
Yeah.
make weird noises all the time from dancing.
Oh
on
yeah.
extremely
From
hard
dancing.
floor. Yeah, like going upstairs, it's like
Yeah, I know.
sound like a
Click,
chaotic
clack.
horse.
Well,
going up the stairs.
Alex, just know that when the Wolves win this series, it'll be because Steph Curry was hurt.
Oh my God. Here we go.
Can I get
Nice,
rid
Bob.
of you?
Can I get rid of you?
Yes, you can. Tom, I got to ask you though. I'm lost on this whole thing with Patrick Royce. Because you had posted something. What did he do or say? And also, by the way, I've never heard him speak ill of you.
No, he's never liked me. No,
But he's never. I would not know that from conversations.
No, but he's not going to tell you because you and I are really
Nah.
good friends. No, look, it's not that big a deal. We had talked about this earlier that he apparently is blocked from social media, a certain social media site. Now, I wasn't on the inside of this, so I don't know, but they tell me it's true. Because what did he say again? He said something about the monkey.
Oh, we're talking about Royce? Yeah.
Yeah.
They played Brass Monkey by the Beastie Boys, and he said something about, I'd pay to turn off that monkey rap. And people just assumed that he was being
Oh,
racist.
my God.
That's Minnesotan for you.
Yeah,
Gotta get offended.
because Beastie Boys are white.
Yes, he was talking about white people rapping about a monkey.
Yeah,
So he couldn't have been more correct calling it a monkey rap, but
right. But
A
so
lot of
I
them
basically
really
went on and said, Pat and I have never gotten along. I mean, every time I see him, he literally flinches when he sees me, and he does not like me at all.
Have you ever considered he's in awe of you?
Yeah, that's
There
it.
you go.
He's stunned.
Mhm.
Joe and I get along. I mean, Joe and I get along, so that's good. And I got nothing against Royce or whatever. He likes who he likes. You have to understand something. Royce is a far lefty.
Mhm.
So he's not going to like me anyway. That whole thing has gotten, I tell you what, this far left, far right thing in America is disgusting.
Well,
These
yeah,
people
Royce, after that, the scandal, he tried to ingratiate himself to the audience by saying, I'm a far left. I don't like Donald Trump, et cetera, et cetera. And
All
it's
right,
like,
he did, yeah.
no,
He
it's
should've
not,
just
you
let it
you can't
go.
grovel to people like that. They don't care.
Right. But I defended him and I said, this is still America. You can say what you wish in America. He didn't say anything wrong anyway, but Like I said, we don't get along, but I still would defend him to my last breath because he didn't do anything wrong.
But you know what, Tom? There are people, and you deal with this too. When you're in the public eye, people are going to like you. People are going to dislike you, and those that dislike you will look for any crumb to attack, and it doesn't matter what it is.
Well, I'll give you an example. Somebody read that post, and they responded, "Is everything about you?" It's like, how was that about me? I was talking about Royce and trying to defend the guy. It had nothing to do with me.
Okay, did I ever tell you about when I got accused of being a racist? When I wrote something about Denny Green decades ago.
Oh, okay.
And I said, because the guy was an absolute survivor. I mean, he survived so many things, especially toward the end. And I said, you know, basically, if the earth comes to an end, the only two things left will be Denny Green and cockroaches. Because cockroaches supposedly will survive anything, right?
That's right, exactly right.
Well, here's what it became. I was being racist because a lot of low-income black families have cockroaches in their apartments in New York City. So that made, and I mean, the connection made no sense, but it makes sense when you to people who want it to make sense.
Hey, for your information, everybody in New York City lives with cockroaches.
This is true.
So,
And rats.
And rats. Yep.
It's true.
Cockroaches riding rats.
I never called Denny Green a rat. I just want to make sure that's clear.
He's no longer with us, is he?
No, he isn't.
2016 he died.
Oh,
Yeah.
when?
Amazing. That's
You're dead that long already?
Yep, almost 10 years ago.
Almost 10 years. Oh my God, I'm getting old. So it's got to be the only answer. No, I mean, we've all been through that whole situation. You remember I brought it up earlier. They destroyed my voiceover career because I was offended that a woman drowned a baby in a toilet. Turns out the woman was not a white woman, so I was a racist. It's like, what are you talking about?
That was not the Tom Brunart incident, was it? This for
Tom Brunart, this is for you.
Was it?
Tom Brunart, this is
It might
for
have
you.
been. Wait,
No, that was a different one. That was a Somali thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, that was that deal. But is it okay if I'm offended because I don't want babies to drown in toilets? I mean, that's offensive to me. Should it not be?
And one or two other people. It's ridiculous. But again, Tom, if they don't like you, they will jump on everything.
That's
absolutely
exactly right.
Everything.
But we've gotten to the point now where if you're so conservative or you're so liberal, why do you destroy people? Because if you're really liberal or you're really socialist or whatever, or you're really far right, you're trying to protect the rights of your people and should be everybody. What are you doing going after people, ruining their lives if you're such a perfect political viewer?
But look how wacky some of these people are when Elon Musk was a hero because of the Tesla and it's electric. Now they're destroying them. Doesn't matter that they're the electric car that's supposed to save humanity and keep us from another ice age or whatever the heck it's going to do.
Yep.
But now he's evil and the devil because he's aligned himself with Trump.
It's just unbelievable. Why they're that mean about everything? Is it candy asses? Or they want to be tough guys, but they're not tough guys. So the candy asses turn into tough guys on the keyboard.
Well, I just think that there are nutty people from the right and there are nutty people from the left.
No question.
And the nutty people from the left, in the case of like with, and I don't even know if they're from the left with Royce, but I would almost bet most of the people complaining would not consider themselves conservative.
No, not at all. I just, when are we going to stop with your perfect politics and your perfect world that everything has to be your way? No, it does not. Not at all. So calm down. I got to be honest with you. I was just trying to think of this while you guys were talking. I can't think of one person I hate. There are people I don't like, but I don't hate anybody. Why would you waste your energy on hating anyone?
Hate's a strong thing. There's people I dislike.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's sort of like, and this is something that you did way back when, you know what? You don't even mention them. If you don't like, don't give them the attention that they want and crave.
I agree. I just don't understand why people get so whipped up about politics now. We've lived different lives. We come from different places. We've had different experiences. We can't all be the same.
And here's the key. And I learned things from movies, and this is my philosophy.
Okay, there you go.
Casablanca. Have you ever seen it, by the way?
Yes.
I know that you did. Okay.
Yep.
One of the greatest put down in the history of cinema or anything is when Peter Lorre's character says to Humphrey Bogart, "You despise me, don't you?" And Bogart says, "If I gave you any thought, I probably would."
There you go.
You don't even give him the thought.
I agree.
You just move on from it.
I just wish everybody would calm down.
They're not gonna. So
I know they're not going to, but it's like,
this
my
is the
God,
new way of things.
relax for Christ's sake.
And by the way, speaking, I got to give you one more movie thing. I do this to people all the time, especially at the barn. Where's Mary? And I say,
Oh
she's
my
about
God.
to close up the library. And I know immediately their response if they ever watched It's a Wonderful Life, because that is a great line by Clarence the Angel. And it's,
God.
Here's the great thing about that. You know what? You've seen It's a Wonderful Life, right?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. You all know what I'm talking about? Clarence
Dad,
saying,
you've never seen It's a Wonderful Life, and you go, oh,
I have too.
Yeah,
No.
he has seen it. I made
I
him watch
have.
it.
She
Oh,
made me
I
watch
enjoyed
it.
it. It's on like
See,
20
once again, you don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I made him
Kate.
watch it
Go
this year.
For years, you went on and on about how you would never watch that movie because every time it
Yep.
you get too big. Like,
Yep. That was the line that made you not
carried
want to.
on
You
and
can just
on.
not watch. That's the ending, right?
yes.
Mhm.
Just don't watch the ending.
there we go.
I
About
watched it. It was fine. There was no
Every
big
time the
deal.
bell rings. The thing about Clarence, though, he refuses to tell Jimmy Stewart's character, George Bailey, where his wife is. And it's basically what life would be like without him.
Mhm.
And she's,
Mhm.
and he's afraid to tell her she's about to close up the library. As if working as a librarian back in the 40s, you were some kind of a whore. That is the most horrible thing you could do. You're a street whore. She's closing up the library. That whore. I mean, come on.
There you
It's
have
this
it.
horrible thing. Were librarians looked down upon in the 40s? I don't know.
We'll take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tom for Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities. Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities are a place where your loved one will live with pride and dignity. If you care deeply about someone in your life, Wellshire is a place I highly recommend. Wellshire is a memory care focused facility that has a full nursing team, always staffed within the building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have never used or relied on any staffing agencies. Wellshire of Medina is now accepting elderly waivers after 12 months of private pay. I know them personally, and they are a family-owned local company conveniently located right in Medina and Bloomington. They are the best staffed memory care facility in the state. Wellshire has a robust community with activities 7 days a week. If your loved one is in need of a memory care facility, please get in touch with my friends at Wellshire. Set up a tour, or you can learn more at wellshiremn.com. That's WEALSHIREMN.com. From Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. What's up, Allie?
Oh, not much. Doing my usual thing of telling people they shouldn't be texting and driving. In Minnesota, you can't have your phone in your hands. You can use, hands free, but you can't have your phone in your hand for whatever reason. And that's why they made the law the way they did, so that police officers could see a phone in your hand and you got no excuse for why you got it there.
Do people know that that's the law?
I hope so. I mean, they used to follow it, and then kind of COVID kind of made people forget. And now it's like a freewheeling world out there with cell phones.
Let's say you get pulled over because you do have a phone in your hand and you're not watching where you're going. You got to be in pretty big trouble then, I would guess.
Well, the first one's not as bad. It's the multiple ones, the problem. And once people start stacking them up, then they have a big problem. And then what we're doing in car accidents is we've started bringing motions for punitive damages, because I'm trying to use the civil law any way we can to stop this, because it needs to stop.
Whenever I'd had any problems in my life, who was that I called again? It was like an MB, something like that.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608 and set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions of Josh Reynolds and do not constitute investment advice. And I am a paid endorser. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. So, hey, how far back can you go? If you delete a text, is there a way you can find it again?
I don't know if you can get it. Can you?
If you back up your texts, Apple I think does to your iCloud.
Yeah, Tom, do you back up your texts?
What does that mean?
I mean, if you signed into iCloud, it'll automatically do it for you. I think. I could be wrong.
Okay, well, I'll
Or
talk to you
could
about maybe
get
you can find it.
subpoenaed and have the cops get it from your cell provider.
There you
That's
go.
probably the second easiest
Give
way.
it to Officer Dave.
Yeah, there you
Officer
go.
Dave can take care of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I want
because
to
I thought I had a text, but I can't find it.
Officer Dave just had a grandchild.
He did indeed. It
Yeah.
was wonderful.
Congrats to him.
Mhm.
Yes. He's got
Lady,
photos on Instagram, I think.
it's all true, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look and listen to this.
And
It
listen,
says here when I do this at the very end. Read Bob's, Bradshaw, and Bryant sponsorship again coming out of the 11:20 break. So Bob Sansevier brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant, if you know what I'm saying. That's all I have to say. So I got to make sure I take care of business. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right.
Sure.
So what else is happening?
yeah. Have you guys ever we drove up from Fort Lauderdale into West Palm Beach, and we were on I-95.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in the HOV lane. And this guy in this brand new, very intimidating Mercedes-Benz comes flying out of nowhere. And he's on my bumper.
Literally.
And I'm already going 76.
Yep. And he was about 6 inches off our bumper.
Why would
And
he
he
not
kept-
just go around?
Well, there was nowhere to go around, and there's nowhere for me to go because I'm not going to go 100 miles an hour to get away from this guy. He's on my bumper, and this happens a lot in Florida.
It does, yeah.
He's flashing his lights. He's trying to go to the 4 inches between these little plunger things and the car, trying to like shove me into, I don't know what I was supposed to go into. There's just more plunger things on the other side of this lane. And so he finally gets around me and he brake checks.
Yeah.
He slams his brakes on in front of me.
Yep.
And I'm like, Tom, give me my phone. I'm going to call the cops. I'm like, if I did get Tom to get the phone to work and the phone to unlock in time for me to take a photo, and I'm driving, so of course, it's not really safe for me to
Right.
Can you report someone like that?
Absolutely.
Do they do anything to them though?
Probably not. Maybe they'll pull them over because they're going way beyond the speed limit if 76 wasn't fast enough.
Well, brake checking is very illegal, I know, in Minnesota.
Oh, and he did it at like 75 miles an
75 miles
hour.
an hour. He right in front of mine.
He goes right in front of me and slams his brakes on as hard as
Doesn't
he
he
could.
realize that he wants you to hit him?
I don't understand what was going on. I was like, what is happening here?
He's a rager.
Yes, he was very much raging, I would say.
God.
I was
So was there cars in front of you too? Like,
yeah, there were cars everywhere. It's Florida. There's cars everywhere. Traffic is really, really heavy down here, everywhere.
This goes back to something I've believed in for quite some time. We should get one lifetime ability to vaporize someone. And that would have been the one, probably, right? Would you have? Think how happy you'd be if you and all the other people who've dealt with this guy.
He's in this like $300,000 car and just intimidating and being so aggressive. I wish that they would start doing something about this kind of driver.
Well, you know what they say. A society armed with vaporizers is a polite society.
There you go.
Yeah, see, exactly. Thank you.
I think the guy was about 20 years old too. He was not he might have still been even a teenager.
I mean, I have had people really try to intimidate me on the roads in Florida before, but this guy was mental.
Tom from Fountain makes a good point is you should probably get a dash cam so you can start reporting these people and sending the footage in.
But they're behind me, so there's I'm gonna have to have
when
a
he's in
rear.
front of you, you can get his.
Yeah, he got in front of you.
He slammed his brakes on, but I couldn't prove that he was road raging behind me. But they've got traffic cameras, right? They can look that stuff up.
Probably.
It's easy it would take so much footage going through footage. But if you have a dash cam, you have it right there. And you have the license, you have, the behavior too.
He's driving
so
like
the guy can't deny it.
he's going to kill someone eventually.
Yes.
Well, at the very least, he's going to leave a wake of accidents behind him while he just goes, on his merry way,
Yep,
just to do it again to
exactly.
someone else.
So are there a lot of accidents down there?
Yes,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
there
Yeah.
are a lot of accidents. There's a lot of fatal accidents, and I just,
Usually because Grandpa Abner's going the wrong way on a one-way, but
I think it's a lot of these people that just are cutting in and out and
There's a lot
riding
of that.
people's bumpers. I mean,
Aggressive.
they're
Yeah.
just so aggressive. And you see cops pulling people over from time to time, but you don't see, almost every time you take I-95, you're going to see somebody driving like a complete psychopath.
Mhm.
It just seems like they should be able to do something about it.
Well,
I
hey,
don't know.
Officer Dave, if you're listening, why don't you tell us? Would it be worth trying to get a dash cam so you can report, send in license plate numbers and video footage and that sort of thing?
And would anything ever even happen to him if you
Well,
did?
he can't say for Florida, obviously, but I don't know. I guess he can say for his jurisdiction.
Yeah.
What
And
I
better
would
yet, a
recommend-
lot of the dash cams you can get the forward and then the backward too, so that you're
Get a
getting
rear
the
Oh.
view, yep.
footage in the car. So then you get to enjoy watching the two of you argue about it.
Yes, exactly.
I recommend the largest black coffee you can get. You flip it out your window and you blind him when it hits his windshield. Then let him have fun.
Or how about just a paintball gun? Have someone.
That would
Ooh,
be
that's
great.
good too.
There you go.
Yeah, and then they get tagged. It's like you're tagging the aggressive asshole drivers
Oh, there you go.
because you can shoot them with the paintball gun, and then everybody else will know. Like have
I
a color.
know, but with my
Shoot
luck,
'em with
I'm supposed to drive 76, hang my paintball out the window, shoot backwards.
They do it in TV and in
They do it,
movies.
yes.
Or just get one of those like speed racer buttons where you hit a button and a bunch of paint comes out of your trunk or
Yes.
whatever.
Oh, I
Yes.
know. I was
And
wishing
then you have
for one of
another
those
button
smoke
that makes
button. The
springs
smoke
come
button.
out so you can jump away from the
You know what,
ensuing
Catherine?
crash.
You could find a place that can rig up one of those paintball things on the back of your hood.
I bet you could.
Those
Oh,
shoot out
I
of
no
a pipe.
doubt.
Of course, you have to pay them cash. And if you ever
Back up,
talk about
bud.
them, you end up in the bottom of the lake. But you can
Well,
do
his
it.
car was so expensive; it would have been better to put something like acetone or something. So
I mean,
ate his
what a
paint
brat.
job. He was hideous. I mean,
Yeah, really bad.
I mean, we had that one up in Orlando, the woman with the kid in the car.
Yeah.
She was
Yep.
also a psychopath, but she
Yeah,
didn't
she
brake
was.
check me.
Not like he did. He locked him up. I mean, I don't
Apparently-
know how you avoided hitting him.
Yeah, apparently in Florida, you're supposed to go about 85 miles an hour, 90
Yeah,
all
I
the
guess so.
time. And if you're
What
if
is-
you're not going 90 miles an hour, you're in someone's way forever.
What's the posted speed, though? Is it
65, 70,
Mhm.
70 on the turnpike.
It means nothing.
If you're going 80, people are blowing by you all
I
the time.
hate the turnpike for that reason. Because there is no
Yep.
speed limit. People just go whatever speed they want, and usually it's 100 miles an hour.
Well, with the problem with the turnpike is it's only 2 lanes on either side, and so you've got the people that are going below the speed limit and maybe the speed limit in the right lane, and then the people that think it's the Indy 500 on the left lane. So
Yep.
if you want to be in the right lane, you're never going to get anywhere because they're going too slow. It's like, damn it, people, can't you just go the speed limit? Everybody put your what's that thing called where they just go the speed limit, the button.
What? Oh, the
Cruise control.
Cruise
cruise
control.
control,
Just
yeah.
do
I know,
cruise
everyone
control
should-
and chill out.
Yeah, that's what I do on my drive to work every day. I just set the cruise control.
Yeah, well, you really
It's the
can't
most-
in Florida
it's-
because
it's the
people are
most-
going too slow or too fast. They won't even go the speed limit.
Well, it's when you got the adaptive cruise control, though.
Yeah.
What's that?
Works great. I love it.
Get one of
What is
those. You
that?
buy it from the army. Those with the ones on the gun turret on top of it, and you load it with
turret?
paintball.
Ooh,
With paint.
I like it.
Then Tom gets up there and just starts firing.
Yeah, just make a technical with a paintball turret. There you go.
Honestly, they could do a television series down here based on that. Let's go after some aggressive drivers.
We shall take a break, come right back, and wrap things up right after this. Family owned since 1933, an original Minneapolis steakhouse. I'm talking about Jack's, of course, a place I love the most, a place to celebrate, create memories. It's been there for over 90 years, too. It's just minutes from Target Field, so that's a great one right there. You go to Jack's, you have a little dinner, you go to Target Field, you can enjoy. I mean, you just have a wonderful night. That's what I'm talking about. You can go pre or post game meals, as a matter of fact, if you want. Perfect prime ribs, serving steaks, chops, and fresh seafood. You can even net your own trout from Jack's Garden Stream and have it prepared for you minutes later, which is very cool. That whole back patio area is amazing. You can enjoy happy hour in a bar and on an award-winning patio like That's what I was talking about. Award-winning patio, not just a patio. Award-winning patio Wednesday through Sunday. Private party rooms from 25 to 275 people. Perfect for weddings, groom's dinners, business dinners, or all celebrations. Weekend brunch, Saturday and Sunday is wonderful there too. We were talking about my buddy Billy, one of the great guys of all time. I love Jack's. Have since I was a teenager. It's the best way to put it. So it's been a couple of years. You know what I mean?
Babe.
Jack's, the godfather of Northeast.
Many car dealers try to create an extreme sense of urgency. Does anybody really buy it?
We gotta sell 100 cars by Saturday to get the boss off the roof. Or, you'll never see these rebates again. And oh yeah, your trade will never be worth more.
Really? I asked Jim Paul from Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Valley GMC in Hastings his thoughts.
I don't even know what to say. I hope folks are smarter than that.
Has there really ever been a time when it was urgent?
Probably not. But this tariff environment might be a first. Valley has several hundred pre-tariff units on the ground. Who knows what's going to happen with the tariffs, but these are really safe buys. Going forward, Valley's committed to make whatever the situation is as painless as possible, like we've always done.
Where can we find you then?
Get them pre-tariff. Hurry, hurry, hurry. When they're gone, they're gone. And man,
At a Valley store in Apple Valley or Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Certainly not on a roof.
I still got to talk Jim Paul into coming in and doing the show one day. I've asked him a couple of times, but haven't heard back. So I'm going to force him to do it. That's all I have to say. Right?
That'd be nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening. You're listening to me. Your customers listen to me. They'll hear me promote your business. Of course, we got Bob, we got Mary, we got Kathryn, we got Andy, we got Alex. We got everybody. The Tom Bernard podcast attracts thousands of listeners. They're very loyal, engaged, and ready to support businesses they trust. Our podcast has helped numerous businesses increase traffic. That's what they tell me. Sales and brand recognition. We're not just about ads. We're about results. Whether you're a local business, national brand, we offer custom advertising packages designed to fit your unique needs and goals. Our audience spans multiple demographics, which is very, very important, by the way, allowing you to target your ideal customers with precision, from millennials to baby boomers and everyone in between. With the broad reach of the show and passionate following, your business will see increased visibility and awareness, translating into more customers and sales. You ready to get started? Visit tombernardshow.com, click on the partner tab, and let's discuss how we can work together to grow your business. Thank you. We are back to wrap things up. All right, you got a couple of minutes. What do you want to talk about, Bob and Mary?
You always ask us, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, see, what do you want to talk about? I just want to talk again about our reception over at the restaurant last night. It was unbelievable. Honestly, God, it was like by the time we were out of there, after 7-8 people came over and said thank you and blah, 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 it was like we owned the place, for God's sake.
Yeah, they might have been the nicest servers I've ever
Of
seen.
all time.
What did you eat? And was it full?
It was unbelievable. I had roast duck à l'orange. It was the best I've ever. It looked like steak. It even tasted kind of like steak. It was really weird. Have you ever had duck à l'orange before where it was like, it was big.
I stick with your normal poultry, your chicken and your turkey.
Oh, here we
No,
go.
we had duck in it's SJU, like with Spencer, that one restaurant.
See?
I remember
Wow,
the duck
Bob.
because we rarely ate duck. I can't think of the
It
name
was
of
great.
it though.
Why don't they
can't
just
say
call
no.
it orange duck? It's à l'orange.
À l'orange, orange
Very
duck.
French.
Kathryn, what'd you have?
I had a beet carpaccio,
Oh, God, that was good too.
which was very delicious.
Mhm.
And I had a salmon eggs Benedict,
That's right.
smoked
Mm.
salmon eggs Benedict.
It's really going to shock everybody to hear that I had shrimp cocktail.
Yeah.
I always have shrimp cocktail.
You got to go with the
are-
shrimp when it's available.
Oh, I love it. It's just wonderful stuff. But it's so nice to be treated so well. I mean, they didn't know us from Adam. They had no idea. But now we'll leave the restaurant about an hour and a half later. We're like best friends with everybody in the building. It
That's
was
really well.
wonderful.
Oh,
And all you did was say nice things, and they all came over. They must not
They
get
all
very much
came
of
over.
that.
Yep, it was
good
great.
manners cost nothing.
One thing that was kind of cool. There was a young Asian man. I think he's like the head of the diner group, isn't he? Or I don't know. I think he's the head of the servers,
I don't know.
that kind of deal.
Head waiter?
So we're talking to, maybe he is the head waiter. We're talking to the not the chef, but the manager of the place and the host and all that stuff. They're all talking there. And the young Asian guy was standing to my right and go, "This guy's not that great. You should have seen him flinch." I said, "I'm just kidding. You did a wonderful job." He was like, "What?" It was hilarious.
Okay, well, now it's full of social media that Tom does not like Asian guys.
I tell you, yeah, probably true. But I remember as a kid, and I suppose the fact that my mother was a diner waitress affects all of that stuff. How people treat servers.
Yeah.
But I don't see people being grateful for a great meal anymore. I know it costs a lot of money, but if they bust their ass and do a good job, you could say thank you. It's not a bad idea.
Well, you're absolutely right, but some people say thank you just with a tip too, though.
Well, that's true.
Verbalize.
That's true. But it was, honest to God, it was one of the best meals I've ever had in my life, and we're going back. And there's one of them in New York City too. That's where the head chef is from, Joe. He came down and he literally said, "Anytime you want to come here, just ask for me and we'll take care of it."
Wow.
It was wonderful. I mean, during the season, you cannot get into this place. But
well,
now
you need to get in during the season and test it. Tom who?
Tom, what? Who is it?
Hey, the chef told you that? That's pretty good.
What'd you say, Andy?
You got to do the undercover boss thing. You got to go disguised as someone else.
Yeah, that's true. There
Make
you
sure
go.
they still treat you well.
The other thing is that the chef had put this duck on the menu and nobody had ordered it.
Nobody.
So Tom was like the first guy to order it. So he's like, "Who is this guy ordering my duck?"
It
No,
was
duck's delicious.
phenomenal. It was not fatty at all. I mean, it was like little pieces. It looked like little pieces of steak. It was that good.
It was really good. I tried some.
It was wonderful. All right. Any closing words?
Have a great week.
Update the app. If you don't know how to update it, uninstall it and reinstall it.
Okay.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's just not going to work.
Although if they can't hear you telling them about how they're going to do it.
You can listen live even on the old app. So the old app, how it works is it'll load and you can listen live. But if you try to listen to an old episode, the app crashes.
Oh, that's
well, aren't we putting this information on our Facebook page?
It's on Facebook multiple times. Maybe Tom should tweet that too. I don't know.
Oh, now it's Tom.
Why don't you text
it's not Dad
him?
anymore, it's Tom.
Why don't you text him the words?
Yeah.
And then he can copy and paste on
That's not a bad idea.
X or something.
And it's like retraining people. You have to tell them repeatedly.
Yes.
Over and over. Like,
yeah, that's
I've
true.
gone through that because I have a scheduling app for my barn, and I'll still get parents that I've known for a long time that will text me and say, "Hey, I can't figure this out. Can you just do it for me?" And once or twice is fine, but after that, it's like figure it out.
Yeah.
And Tom, I got to agree 100%. They don't do it to me, but they do. Like Sam did it when she was younger, and my daughter, 15-year-old kid, in the barn, Mary, don't you dare call your mother Mary ever.
Yeah, I know. I
well,
hate
do it on
that.
the show because it's, I don't know, calling you
No,
dad
it
is
makes
kind of
sense here.
unprofessional, isn't it?
It's not
No,
unprofessional.
this is, yeah, that's the right thing to do. But I do hate it when mom, it's not like you're going, dad, Tom.
Yeah.
What I do, I say, Andy, how you doing? Bob, how you doing? Mary, how you doing? The love of my life, how are you doing?
I don't know.
See what I'm saying?
Just because I sat through the three Twins games, they're all happy because they won.
8 of them now.
8 games.
Like 8 in a row.
Well, it's fun when they're playing well and their pitching is good. When last year or the year before it was brutal to watch them, but now it's actually fun.
And then also, speaking of Twitter, keep an eye on that for that Jack's Cafe tweet.
Yes.
Should be coming today. And we're going to pin it this time, I hope.
Yep, absolutely.
I can't do anything about it, so it's up to you two to get that done.
We'll get it taken care of. All right, we will talk to you tomorrow. Mary and Bob will talk to you on Monday.
We live for that.
Thank you.
All right.
We live for that.
Wise ass.
Every time I hear the singing reminds me how you talking